topic, which is Miss Marvel. All right.
Mhm.
Look, I I don't remember correctly, but the last time the trailer came out and we reviewed the trailer, I think I was just um laughing at it, or I didn't like it, or and I definitely said that I'm not gonna watch it, and I have said it multiple times as well. I'm not gonna watch it. But I heard some good things, and they said that it has a style and stuff like that. So I thought, why not give episode one a try, because this is being directed by Bilal and Adil, who are doing Bad Girl. So I wanted to see how their work is. So I gave episode one a shot, and to my surprise, it was fucking amazing. I loved it so much. It was I didn't think I would like it one bit, because firstly, I don't know Miss Marvel, the character. I don't give a shit about Captain Marvel. That movie sucked so bad that I
Damn, bruh.
wanted nothing to do with it. So Miss Marvel is a fan of Captain Marvel, so seeing her fangirling for one of the worst characters in the MCU would have been absolutely, terrible for me. But it wasn't. It was so good. The way her character is presented, the way she acts, the way her family is presented, and the scenes at home versus what she's dealing with. All the characters, like including Bruno, her friend, all of that is so good, and um, they don't rely much on the MCU isms, but you still get those. Like,
Mhm.
because she's a fan, like obviously she would be talking about that when Avenger Con stuff like that is mentioned. You'll get all the Avengers stuff in there. That was also a really cool scene to see the amount of work that went into creating that. I know people are saying that it should have been like bigger and like Comic Con and stuff like that. I get that, but it was kind of small, but it was more than what I was expecting, because of how many jokes and Easter eggs and stuff like that they put in there for us to check out. And they didn't even zoom in on that and show it for like a minute or stuff like that. It was just quick things. You can pause it and see it if you want. But the amount of work that went into that was really cool to see. But apart from that, her powers are really cool as well. We didn't see much of it yet, but we saw the beginning of it, and it really looked cool to me. I don't find any problem in, because I have no previous version of my character for this, so I don't care if she has stretch powers or not. It doesn't matter to me that much. But they definitely did the character right. I feel like I know a lot of people are saying this, so I will echo that as well. She feels like a real girl, and real character, and she is playing like one. And especially with me, being in a similar family like this, it really hits close to home. I know a lot of people are kind of laughing at some of the scenes from the parents, but I'm not, because I have been through that and it's not funny. Uh, but yeah, stuff like that is pretty cool to see, and the story is also really good. um I'm kind of curious who the big bad is going to be this season, because the first episode didn't really have any sort of villain or anything like that. So that was also very cool. I would say, this show is very delightful and very wholesome, and most importantly, I love when filmmakers take put in effort to do something creative for their projects. So I saw it here. Definitely the camera work was really good. Like, there was some really unnecessary stuff, like she just hopping onto her bed, but the camera, they built a whole camera rig for that, and it goes all over her, and then upside down. it's really not necessary, but it was really cool to see. So I like when, efforts like that are put in and it shows, and it keeps things interesting. Even the really mundane stuff like she goes through, is seems interesting when stuff like that is presented. But also, I'm much more excited for Batgirl now because of this episode, and I just love the style they chose for the show. It kind of gives you the Scott Pilgrim and Into the Spider Verse type of vibe, and yeah, I'm really loving the show. Well, it's just one episode, but still, I'm really loving the aesthetic of the show and how the style is. What do you think?
I I think it's off to a fantastic start, and I mean, we look back on when we did our kind of like first thoughts on it. I admit, like when I saw the trailer, I said, "Oh, it looks kind of like an ABC Family type of show," and then I had to kind of like bite my words when I got that birthday message from Iman, which
Oh
I was
yeah,
like, yeah,
that was
I
really
was
cool.
like, it was. I was like, geez, now I feel like an asshole for saying that. But yeah, and then I watched the show, and first off, I was like, okay, this is not an ABC Family show, Marvel show. I was like, this feels like a Marvel version of Lizzie McGuire, with the way kind of like the camera is, and kind of like how it, a lot of Lizzie McGuire was about going to kind of like her imagination and her, which was kind of like her way of combating her like preteen type of angst right there. So I saw all those kind of similarities. I admit I've never read the Miss Marvel comic books. I mean, I the only thing I know about Miss Marvel was she would team up with Spider-Man in a few kind of like issues in later years, but that was pretty much it. So going into this, and first off, I'm surprised was this your first exposure to Adil and Bilal? Like you didn't see Bad Boys 3?
No, I haven't because I have never seen any Bad Buzz movie, so I skipped that movie as well.
All right, well, step one, watch the Bad Boys trilogy. All right, but yeah, like you do see they're kind of like that's kind of like their camera style. Their camera style is in background because they have that very kind of like fast and fluent type of style that you see in Bad Boys for Life, and it's in here. So it's cool that
Nice.
they were able to bring their style into it because it makes me think that Marvel are starting to actually care about letting their directors run a little more wild with the look of things. I mean, you look at Multiverse of Madness, and you see those Sam
Most
Raimi.
of Phase 4, actually.
Oh, that's actually true. I didn't think. I mean, I thought it was
Moon
just the
Knight,
Multiverse of Madness.
WandaVision, Loki, they're all kind of, unique in their own ways. Only I think Hawkeye and Falcon and Winter Soldier kind of felt like, MCU Phase 3 shows or Phase 2. But yeah, overall, I do think that it's kind of Phase 4 has been this way. Like Feige, it's either between, Feige allowing all these creatives to, do whatever they want, and between that and him not getting the time to be on all the sets to supervise everything because there's so much MCU content being made every year.
Exactly. He's just juggling himself through all these projects that he's kind of let the directors do more with the style and everything like that. Because the way I see it, and I texted this to my friend after I watched it. I basically said to him, "This show is like Spider-Man: Homecoming with more personality."
Yes,
It's
I
just
didn't want to dunk on Spider-Man, but if Spider-Man was like this Homecoming, I would have liked it even more.
same. Same. I actually would have enjoyed Homecoming had it had that kind of like type of style to it. Which I get. It's a little jarring to some people, but to me, it fits that kind of like teenage mind type of
Yeah.
feeling. So I think it works good. I think Iman Vellani is awesome as Miss Marvel because she's charismatic and she's like super likable. And apparently, this is how apparently she's just like that in real life. Like my friend who knows her, he told me that, and I said to him, "Wow, I guess she really doesn't have to do that much acting."
Yep. That is the reason why after finishing the episode, I just went on a huge rabbit hole of her interviews. you know, I just wanted to know, firstly, I just wanted to know how the directors, came up with this concept and all that. But in going through that, I've, discovered that she is basically that energetic and likable and all that in real life as well. So I just kept seeing, interviews of her. Some people went into the letterbox thing. Remember how people discovered her letterbox and it was
Yeah.
all reviews of DC movies and stuff like that. So she talks about that as well in some of those, and it's pretty cool. Like, she's a film nerd, she's a cinephile, and she's also super into the MCU. And she has no, bias there, and it's really cool to see that, from a very young age she has been like this. And obviously she has been to a filmmaking school and all that, so that's where it was coming from probably. But it was really cool to see her interviews, man. Like, I really do think that she's a future star in the MCU. And even the articles coming out of her having these little spouts with Kevin Feige are so funny
Mhm.
because she basically is a Marvel expert, and Feige is like, no, but the MCU is 616, and she's like, no, the comics are 616, the MCU is not. She's like, she's the typical, comic book Twitter purist.
Exactly.
It's
She's a
just
comic book
funny.
store purist that has a role in now has a role in a show and now a movie too. Since I can't wait to see her in the Marvels.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I also got to say, we talk about kind of like the parents. I just want to say the dad was fucking awesome. I was like, I mean, he's a dork. He's a dork, yeah, but he's such a sweet guy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're both kind of gaslighting parents, and I just don't know why people are liking them so much, because it's clearly affecting Ms. Marvel so much, their restrictions and stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah, I understand, like, from the outside, it does look like that, but having living through that, I know that it's not good. It's very gaslighting in nature. Like, it's
Fair
very
enough.
frustrating.
Fair enough, man. I just want to say I felt bad for him when
Yeah,
she told him,
true.
"Oh, your Hulk costume is humiliating,"
Yeah.
and he just had this sad look on his face. I'm like, "Oh, come on, just let him go."
Yeah. Yeah, that was a really good scene, and a very realistic scene too, because teenagers, they usually say stuff like that without
Oh yeah.
without realizing, what they said and stuff like that. So, yeah, and I just remembered Grace's review, and she was talking about that scene, and she was basically like, you should never do that, never do that to your parents, don't do that. And she was being like that, and I was like, oh shit.
Damn. I haven't I haven't watched Grace's review actually. I haven't seen it,
Yeah, even
but
even she liked it a lot. But yeah, man, like, I'm so excited for episode 2. I cannot believe they didn't release 2 episodes at once. Because I guess they were really confident that the first episode is a super hit and people will love it, so they don't need to do 2 episodes. So
mhm.
yeah, man, I'm totally in, and I'm gonna watch all the way through.
Yeah. Did you see the end credit scene by the way?
Yes, I did. I did
Yeah.
not realize who that was until I saw some video on YouTube, but that's a pretty cool connection.
Yeah, yeah, me too. It has me thinking like maybe Damage Control are the big bads of the season that they're hunting that they want to hunt down Miss Marvel, I guess.
Maybe. I mean, she did some damage at that thing, so it has to
Yeah,
be.
let's
I
see.
mean, yeah. But let's wait and see what happens. And yeah, I'm definitely excited for the Marvels as well, because look, the first movie was trash, I know, but I just was really happy seeing that they replaced the directors and someone else is doing it. So that gave me some hope. And also, Proton in WandaVision was pretty cool. So seeing her would have been awesome. And now we have this character, which is amazing, which who probably will carry that movie. So I'm definitely excited for that one now.
Yeah, yeah, same with me. I mean, like I before with WandaVision and the Marvels, I was and Miss Marvel, I was kind of like Captain Marvel's sequel. I was like fine, whatever. But now that we have Miss Marvel in it, we've seen Iman as Miss Marvel. I'm kind of like, I really want to see like where she goes now. Well,
Yep.
after the season is done.
Yeah. I hope there's a Captain Marvel versus Ms. Marvel fight because I would love to see that.
It'd be hard. You really are a heartless bastard to see her getting pummeled by her hero.
Why do you think that will happen? I just think that she will, get beat up because she's so bad.
Yeah,
Okay, I have a
heartless.
question. Do
Shoot.
you think do you think I saw a theory on, Twitter, someone posted a thread and they basically said that this power that she currently has is due to the Terrigen Mist, and she will basically go through the Terrigenesis and become an inhuman, and by the end of the show, and that's when she will get her classic powers. Do you think that would be a good idea to do?
I mean, I think that'd be cool as kind of like a way to evolve into that in a lot of ways. I mean, I'm always up for evolution of any kind. It's why I like Zack Superman. It's why I really like Spider-Man No Way Home because of that Spider-Man evolution.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not be opposed to the idea of her powers evolving into that.
Yeah.
It just depends on how it's done.
Yeah, that's the key thing because even I think that's a cool idea, and it will definitely have that classic power set as well. But I kind of was not wanting that because it's too similar to Reed Richards, and
Mm-hmm.
in general, I don't find that power to be that you know interesting. Um, but we already have Mr. Fantastic, so why do we need another one? But it would be cool if they, go back to that as she had that in the comics. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be cool. But what's more exciting about this is the Inhumans thing. If she's an Inhuman, that would be even more interesting, and that would also suggest that her mom might have powers.
Yeah, that is true because I mean it's like you see the bracelet and her mom gets a dirty look at the bracelet
Mm-hmm.
and it does maybe feel like there's got some kind of like family lineage of these powers. I mean, we already know we see Black Bolt in Multiverse of Madness, so it wouldn't surprise me that their plan would be to do a better version of Inhumans this time around because they've also done Inhumans on Agents of Shield and whatever the fuck that show was. That Inhuman show, whatever it was. So
Yeah.
I would not be surprised for them to look at this as a mulligan for Inhumans.
True. That would definitely